Right, we've been asked a few times to do this fly. We call it a baby ostrich intruder, and the reason we call it the baby part of the baby ostrich intruder is it's just smaller than the standard intruders we usually do. You can do this on any metal tube, any plastic tube. We're just going to go with one of these today. It's Snaelda tube. They go under a few different names out there, but basically it's just a conical type tube. Goes from fatter at the back to skinnier. It's got the ridges in it too, but for this fly it's not really that important what kind of tube you use. We'll start by lining this. So our plastic liner tube goes in. We'll melt the lip like we usually do, just to hold the back on. And again, you can see that ridge there now. Let it dry for a second. And when we pull up the tube, everything should stay nice and secure. Alright. Hey, we've got our tube here. We'll cut so that there's about half an inch from the front, maybe a little more. Okay, and we'll get it on our mandrel. It goes through. And give it the good old squeeze onto our vice adapter. Sorry about that. Okay, and again we've got a spinning tube on a plastic tube that's secure, so to get that where it has to be, just like before, we'll make that little bump in front on the plastic, squeeze it up just a little bit, and then back onto our metal. Whoops, tighten things up a little bit here. There we go. Okay, you can see the metal is totally secure now. And good thing about these Snaelda tubes that they've got, well, like a lot of bottle tubes, they've got the ridge area for your junction tube afterwards. Alright, we're ready to start. Right, we're going to start by just adding a few fibers of Lady Amherst. We've got bright pink and royal purple. So, just in clumps of 4 or 5. One side pink, and the other side pink too. Again, a clump of 4 or 5. Okay, and just spread them out. Okay, we'll do the same thing with the purple, except on the opposite side. So it's really 4 different clumps going around evenly on the tube, and then just spread out with your fingers. Okay, and you can see the one bare side here. That's where the other purple goes. Okay, so you got a mix of purple and pink fibers coming off the back there. Right. We're going to now put a little bit of flash on here. I'm going to go with pink Flashabou. Not Christmas tree style like that, but just a few strands, just to give it a little more enticement for the trout, or salmon, or whatever. Okay, so maybe just a handful. We're only going to put it on one area. There's not really a top or a bottom to this fly. It's in the round style, so the flash doesn't have to be all around. Just a little flash here and there. Alright, that's the start of the fly. Now we're going to take 2 grizzly schlappen feathers that have been dyed. This is a bright pink. This is, again, royal purple. That's pretty much the colors we stick with on this one. I'm going to start with the pink, and I'm going to trim the feather right about where the fuzziness starts. Okay. We're going to go in, and this fly really doesn't have a body. The body's all feather. We're going to move forward with both these feathers, and by the time we do that, we're going to have most of the metal tubing covered. Okay, so just wrapping forward and combing back. And like all intruders, they look really bad until they're done. Same deal with the purple here. We'll trim right where the fuzziness starts, tie in, and wrap forward. You can see we're almost at the end of the metal tube, so that's why I said you don't really need a body with this fly. It's all covered with the grizzly. Alright, and you know, this is a really easy fly to tie as well. We're just about done here. So you've got the bushy effect there. Now this time we're going to add more of the Amherst. Same way as before. 2 clumps of pink, 2 clumps of purple. Just kind of spread it out. There's the pink. Here's the purple. There we go. And we're going to add a little more of that pink flash. Just in one place. Alright. Alright, just like the name says, we're going to put some ostrich on this too. This is our ostrich spey feather. It's been burnt, so it's really light. Not quite as durable as Rhea, but way cheaper, and in the water it looks very, very similar. So we're just going to take a few clumps of that. We want this stuff pretty long. I'm going to add it just like we did the Amherst. Tie a few clumps all around the tube. So maybe 3 clumps. And you can see we've got now just some stringiness going on there. Alright, now this is something new we've done. When we first had this pattern, we didn't put heron on it, but I like to put a bright pink dyed gray heron as a collar before we put the final collar on. Okay, so trim the fuzzies, pull from the top just like we've done before. We'll tie it in tip first and just wind and pull back. If you get any stuck, just kind of pull them out with your fingers. Okay, we'll pull everything back. And just build up that head a little bit. Alright, we're going to finish this off with a final collar of pink guinea. So we'll just take a pretty good sized guinea feather, pull off the fluff. Okay, and find the tip. guiding tip first, and we'll just wind, pulling back like usual. We'll tie it off. I love when you wrap guinea, you get half of it up front and half out back, so just pull everything back. This is where you want to start making a small head, instead of just pulling back and wrapping like crazy. And give it a squeeze, a little fluff out to see if you're happy with the shape. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to add jungle clock here too. We didn't on the original pattern, but for today we will. A couple smaller feathers, since the word baby is in the name of this fly. Okay, and we'll cut these off. Okay, one side. The second side. Alright, so at this point we're going to finish the head. Now, you could fish it just like this. We like to add a bead to this pattern, just because it's not on a huge metal tube. A bead kind of gets it down a little better. But that is totally up to you. We're going to add a metallic blue ultralight monster cone today. Right, we'll finish it twice, just for durability. Okay, and we're going to varnish it, of course. Alright, and take this off. You can see it's very rough kind of looking pattern. When it gets wet though, those little dangly fibers at the end really look great. So I've got my ultralight monster cone here. Just stick it on. It fits nicely onto the liner tube, just a little bit of a wiggle. And in fact, you know what? I think I'm going to switch that up. That's way too big. Let's do something different here. Let's just finish the fly. No bead. So we'll trim it and melt it. Okay, we'll give another coat of varnish. You can see with anything fly tying, I just, when I put on that ultralight monster cone head, I didn't like the look of the fly. I think it looks good just with a standard head. Of course, with line control now, you have incredibly heavy sinking line. Cones aren't what they used to be as far as fly control for weight. That's it, the baby Ostrich Intruder tube.